At their core, 从 and 到 function very similarly to from and to in English, respectively. They are used to mark the boundaries of an action or state in terms of space, time, or range. At its core, 从 means from or since, and its main job is to mark a starting point. But this starting point can be a place, a time, or even an idea. This table breaks down the 4 main ways you'll see 从 used in daily conversation. First up, we have the spatial starting point. It simply tells you where an action begins physically. The structure is straightforward. 从 plus the place plus the verb. Let's look at the first example. 他从北京来. This means he comes from Beijing. See? The starting point, 北京, comes right after 从. All right, next up is the temporal starting point. Just as 从 can mark a start in space, it can also mark a start in time. Our first example is 我们从早上9点开始工作. We start working from 9 a.m. Now for the second example, which shows a slightly different nuance. 从去年起我就住在这里了. Since last year, I have been living here. Here, 从 translates perfectly to since. It's marking the beginning of a state that has continued up to the present. Okay, now we get to a more abstract and interesting usage, the point of view or source. Here, the starting point isn't a physical place or time, but rather the origin of an idea, information, or a perspective. Let's look at the example, 从这个角度看，你是对的. From this perspective, you are right. This is a fantastic phrase for discussions. The starting point of your thought process is this angle or this perspective. The next one shows the source of information. 我从书上学到了很多知识. I learned a lot of knowledge from books. Where did the knowledge come from? The book. The book is the source, so we use 从. And finally, our last category is route or method. This describes the path, channel, or way through which something happens. Think of it as through or via. Our example is 小偷是从窗户爬进来的. The thief climbed in through the window. The window wasn't the starting point of the thief's journey, but it was the route they took to get inside. That's why we use 从. The 是, the structure here adds extra emphasis on how the action was done. Now that we've covered the starting point with 从, let's look at its partner, 到. While 从is mostly about starting, 到is about finishing or arriving. But it's much more versatile than just that. As you can see from our table, 到 can play 3 roles in a sentence: a preposition, a verb, and a resultative complement. Let's break them down one by one. First, the most straightforward use, 到, as a preposition. This is the direct counterpart to 从. It marks the destination or the endpoint, meaning to a place or until a time. Let's look at our first example, which shows a destination. 请到我的办公室来一下. Please come to my office for a moment. Now for an example with time. 我们一直玩到半夜. We played all the way until midnight. Okay, next up, 到 can also be the main verb of the sentence. In this role, it simply means to arrive or to reach. 我们到了. We've arrived, or we're here. Here, 到 is the main action. And in a question, 下一班火车什么时候到? When does the next train arrive? Again, 到 is the main verb, so you can use it all by itself. All right, now 到as a resultative complement. Its job is to attach to another verb to show that the action was successful. It changes the meaning from just doing something to achieving something. Let's see the logic. The verb 找 just means to look for. It's the action. You could look for your keys for hours. But 找到 means you found them. The action was successful. You achieved the result. Let's see another one. 买 is the action of trying to buy something. 买到 means you successfully bought it. It's in your hands. Now let's see it in a full sentence. For a success story, 我找到我的手机了. I found my phone. And for a failed attempt, 我想买那张票，但是没买到. I wanted to buy that ticket, but I didn't manage to buy it. Notice the negative here is may, not 不. When you're talking about a past action that didn't achieve its result, you almost always use may. Now that we've looked at 从 and 到 individually, it's time to put them together in their most classic and powerful combination, the 从到 structure. This is your direct equivalent for from to or from until in English. Okay, let's look at our table, starting with the most intuitive use, the range of space. This describes a complete physical journey. Our first example is 从我家到公司需要30分钟. From my home to the office takes 30 minutes. Notice the structure. We first define the path, 从我家到公司, and then we state the verb, 需要, meaning takes or needs. The second example is similar. 这场火车是从上海到北京的. This train is from Shanghai to Beijing. This shows the complete route of the train. Next, we can use this exact same structure for the range of time. 我昨天从早上8点到下午5点都在开会. Yesterday, I was in meetings from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. 这家店从周一到周五营业. This store is open from Monday to Friday. Finally, and this is what makes the structure so flexible, we can use it for abstract ranges. This includes everything from numbers to concepts to groups of people. Our first abstract example deals with price. 这本书的价格是从50到100块钱不等. The price of this book ranges from 50 to 100 yuan range. It clearly defines the lower and upper boundaries of the price. And this last example is a fantastic one for describing groups of people. 从老人到小孩, 每个人都喜欢他. From the elderly to children, everyone likes him. By mastering this pattern, you've unlocked one of the most fundamental and useful sentence structures in all of Mandarin Chinese. Congratulations and keep practicing.